Charlotte County market and wonder if things are finally shifting. They are. Inventory has just dropped nearly 24% from last year, and pending sales are up over 31%, and prices are starting to creep up. So here's exactly what's happening and what it means for you. Hey guys, I'm Eugene Fulton. I'm a realtor here based in Southwest Florida, and I specialize in helping buyers relocate here from out of the state. Every month I break down the actual numbers for Charlotte County, not the headlines, not the hype, just what the data says and what it means on the ground. So let's get into April's numbers real quick. So the median price sold in Charlotte County is now $345,000. That is up 3% from last month and 1.5% from this time last year. Prices aren't really spiking, but they are starting to climb, and they've been on a steady upward trend for 6 straight months. So as we get into the inventory side of things, you can see that there are currently over 2,700 active listings on the market. That's actually down 23.7% from a year ago when there were over 3,600. New listings are also down 31% year over year. The reason why? Sellers aren't really flooding the market like they used to. The reason? You got to figure a lot of homeowners locked in interest rates of about 3 to 4% back in 2020 and 2021, and they're simply not going to go anywhere right now. So as we take a look at the average days on the market, they're averaging about 98 days to go into contract, which is actually pretty normal historically for this area. The market isn't moving overnight, but it's not really sitting still either. We're sitting around 6.9 months of active inventory. So that's technically still a buyer's market, but here's the number that matters more. For those homes that are already under contract, it's hitting about 4.8 months. So that's neutral territory. So the market is moving a little bit faster than the headline numbers suggest. So if we go on to pending sales, 567 homes went under contract last month. That's up 32% from a year ago. So that's a significant signal that buyers are back and they are starting to make moves. So as we're getting into interest rates right now, so the 30-year fix is sitting around 6.46% right now. The Mortgage Brokers Association and Fannie Mae are both projecting that interest rates will land somewhere between 5.7 and 6.4 for the rest of 2026. Not the 3% days anymore, but the market has clearly adjusted to this environment, and those pending numbers prove it. So what does that mean if you're a buyer? It means you still have some negotiating room. The average sale is going for about 90% of the original list price, but that window is closing. With inventory shrinking, albeit a bit slowly, but pending sales are starting to surge, and the leverage that buyers had about 12 months ago is starting to fade. So if you're sitting on the sideline waiting for prices to drop further, the data isn't supporting that strategy right now. Now, if you're a seller, your competition means it's starting to thin out, albeit it's moving slower, but it is starting to get a little bit thinner. Fewer new listings hitting the markets means fewer homes for buyers to choose from. So the buyers that are out there that are serious, the pending sales provide that demand is still real. So one thing that will slow you down is overpricing home at the start. Homes priced right are moving. The ones that aren't are just sitting there. And if you're relocating from out of the state, this is a market that I work in every day. And the pattern I'm seeing is this. Buyers who did their research, got approved, and moved decisively are getting into contracts. The buyers who waited for a better time are now looking at higher prices and less selection. So if a move to Southwest Florida is something you're seriously considering this year, the time to plan is now, not later. If you want to talk through what this market means for your specific situation, whether you're buying, selling, or just planning to move out of state, you can always reach out directly. The link is in the description. I do free strategy calls, no pitch, just a real conversation about where you are and what makes sense for you. So if this kind of update is useful to you, subscribe, and I try to do this every month so you always know what's actually happening in today's market.